and Clyde Ross Peak. This little outcrop we're standing on gives us a good view of Sheephead Peak with its distinctive red Devonian rock. Limestone and sandstone don't mix very well together, and when they do mix, what you have is cliff. The rock just doesn't hold together. So we have some impressive verticality right here. Vertical rock strata. It is a vertical world here. I imagine that's what keeps people away. The peak we're headed for today, we don't believe it's been climbed before. Tell you a little bit about the mountaineering history when we get to the summit. That's Mount McCaleb. Well, if anybody's climbed this peak, they're keeping it a secret. Because there's no sign of anybody being here. We will leave a record and build a cairn as we ponder the shrinking Mackay Reservoir. And now that a modest cairn has been placed on this 11,276 foot summit, we can look around. The view west is to Mackay in Lost River Valley. We have the White Knobs with Shelley Mountain. As we said, the Mackay Reservoir is shrinking daily. Mount McCaleb is perhaps the most climbed peak in this immediate area. We believe well, at least an early ascent was made by Thomas M. Bannon, 1912 to 1915. There is a summit register with quite a few names. Now that's Lower Cedar Creek. Remember, we crossed the alluvial fan of Lower Cedar, and that gully would take us up to the 10th highest peak in the state of Idaho, which is called USGS Peak, 11,982 feet. Our goal is to climb that once the water in the canyon makes travel passable. The nearest peak to us is called Wet. There's a triangulation station on Wet. Now immediately behind Wet is Clyde Ross Peak, 11,724 feet. Official names recognition is currently pending. Clyde Ross was the geologist who probably did the most field work in this area. That is Hidden Peak, Last Lost Peak. Clyde Ross did the geology and ore deposits of the Bora Peak Quadrangle. Oktoberfest Mountain. Now, look at those sheep tracks right on the crest of the range. So they're around, they're just not letting us see them today. Alright, Holly Mountain. Behind Holly is the Limhi Range. The smaller peak on the left is Umpleby Peak, names recognition pending. And then the large one you see there is Bell Mountain. First climbed by T.M. Bannon, 1913 to 1915. Bannon also was the first to climb Diamond Peak, 12,197 feet in the Lemhi Range. He nicknamed it the Thumb. He called Bell the Finger. Diamond also has been called Pyramid Peak and Dome Peak, perhaps because that section of the Lemhi Range is called the Dome Mining District. Bannon also triangulated Sunset Peak. We're back in the Lost River Range. That series of peaks I'd like to climb a little bit later in the season to link up with the North Twin and the South Twin. Just a couple of weeks ago we were on the summit of Jaggle, where there is a holy standing triangulation station. There's the Ram's Horn. Now Bannon did climb Invisible Mountain, triangulated it, again 1913 to 1915. He was busy climbing all of the significant peaks in this section of Idaho at that time. Anyway, he said he climbed it by horseback. It took him 6 hours. You'll remember on the Umpleby Gray map, he calls that Sheephead. So we are reviving the name Sheephead Peak and attaching it to the next peak north and west of Invisible. Peak we're on, nice smooth summit on the one side and precipitous on the other, Sheephead Peak. And we'll leave part of a sheep's head here at the top as a reminder. Jawbone. As the skies thicken, we'll take leave of Sheephead Peak. We'll take a little shortcut down the gully here to reach our Swagger Canyon. For those of you that are regular viewers of the High on Idaho series that we do on climbing, you will remember that July 4th last year, 1991, we likewise climbed an 11,200 foot peak as a first ascent. That was Shoshone John in the Lemhi Range. And in that video, you will remember we did the same exact thing as we're doing now. We were lucky enough to find running water to slake a thirst. And even though this year is cool compared to last year, oh, that H2O hits the spot. It's our route out. This is Bogger from Swagger, ready to drink a lager. Thanks for coming along, folks, on the hike and climb of Sheephead Peak, Lost River Range, Idaho.